Hey, Empress. Hello, hello. Sarah King here. Oh my gosh, this is one. This is going to be unexpected, this topic, right? Or not. You know it's coming. The mental load weighing down working mothers. Yes. I'm shocked, right? Shocked that I want to talk about this. I want to get to the bottom of this huge, ridiculous weight that we keep having to carry around. This is nothing new. This is not in the last 10 years, in the 20 years. This has been hundreds of years, millennia even, that moms have to be the brunt workforce of everything. Everything. And look, I'm going to extend this out. This is not just working mums. This is mums that work in the household. This is women who operate in a partnership as well that may not have children in their lives at this time. This is out there for the woman. The mental load that we are carrying is outrageous. It's phenomenal, right? I wish science could measure it and put it into physical terms because at times the weight of it can feel crushing. But if you don't do it, who else is going to do it? Oh, yeah, that's a question for you, right? Hmm, we'll come back to that. What happens if you just put it all down? What does the mental load look like for you? This is the invisible, the ongoing, the responsibility of managing the household life, the family life, and often it's a little bit disproportional compared to someone else you may have sharing, air quotations, sharing the responsibility. It falls, society makes it fall on the mothers to carry this load. And no, any men out there listening, making a list for you to help us, that's not helping with the mental load. That's creating more of the mental load. Remembering the appointments that you have, your children have, your partner has, managing the schedules, making sure that things don't overlap, that no one's going to be left stranded at pickup zone and not have someone there. Organizing those extracurricular activities, meal planning, even anticipating the emotional needs of your little ones. We know that first day of school, daycare, that is going to bring heightened emotions. If there's a change in the family circumstances, even with blended families, the swing back and forward to households can create a spike in emotional capacity that you need to be aware of. Just you, apparently. So for our woman out there in your work role, which usually has a mental fatigue demand capacity as well, your mind can feel like it doesn't stop at times. Your career load with your home load is a mental load that is just compounded by all of those roles: the professional, the home, the kids, the family, the being the good wife, the good partner, the good co-parent, the constant feeling of being on. Oh, it stretches us thin, right? And if we stretch too far, do we break? Do holes form? What happens? Doesn't feel good though, does it? So why do mothers carry the mental load? Well, it's cultural conditioning, right? This is what society says we do. If there was a job description, which there will never be because that would suggest that maybe we're not getting paid enough for what we do in society, then it would just be so long. We carry the primary position of the caregiver, the emotional anchor, even, you know, even if we have demanding careers, even if we are making changes in the world outside of the home, even if, wow, even if our partners don't support us as much as what we would hope, we carry it because society tells us to carry it. Do we say anything? Sometimes. Sometimes we get called nagging. Has anyone had that? Sometimes when you express your concerns, it's turned around. What I would love to see in our society is an arena where we can share our dissatisfaction of the mental load that is placed on us and have it responded to with an acknowledgement and appreciation of, yes, I see that you've had to carry such a mental load. How can we change that? How would that look for you? And put some action into it. Like, how do we support ourselves to reduce this mental load that we are carrying? Well, setting boundaries is one. We can learn to say no to the things we really don't need to do, the unnecessary tasks, the delegate what can't be stopped. We can delegate what still needs to be done. We can protect our time. And we can really put those boundaries in place for when it comes to self-care and rest for us, because that is important to top ourselves up. Fill that cup back up and delegate those things strategically. So share the load by assigning age-appropriate tasks to our little ones. They can be independent humans when they grow up by learning how to do things now. We can hold our partners accountable for an equal share of the household duties. Equal, not just some, equal. And if we don't have a partner in our lives, you know, that other co-parent can take on emotional responsibilities as well. They can take on the tasks in an equal amount if they are present in your life. And if you don't have somebody else to help share responsibilities, let's create that community. Let's find the people in your world that you feel safe and comfortable with and get support from them. We can use mindful practices to incorporate tools like meditation, even if it's micro meditation. You got small kids, so I know you're not going to be laying down for an hour at a time meditating, but micro meditations or even just 1 or 2 minutes where you completely just drop out. You can do it. Sometimes I do it while I'm making a coffee. It calms my mind. It instills me to be me. You know, things like journaling, getting out the mind clutter, getting out the rubbish that's in there that's taking up space, the mental load that doesn't need to be thinking about something, creating to-do lists with those things that do need to be done but I don't need on my mind right now, creating like brief grounding practices and exercises that reduce the stress in your life and bring you back to the present moment. Things that really restore our nervous system. This could be sitting on the floor and rocking up and down like a turtle. It could be feet planted on the ground, barefoot outside if you can, like just doing some hip swings, some hip rolls. Super easy, super grounding. If you follow me, then you know one of my favorite tips is just to grab a stone or a rock, just to hold it in your hand and feel it weighing you down from your crown to the soles of your feet into that earth. That's grounding. That's so easy. Do it in front of your children, please, please, please. Do it in front of your children because they will pick up these tips and can use it to regulate themselves. They are so smart, so smart. And like I said, build that village. Even if you have a partner in your life, build your support networks, whether you hire some help, where you get a nanny or you get a housekeeper, or you get someone that is doing paid action in your life to come in and support you, or joining network groups, support groups, because a mama can't be out there on her own. This is where we get off kilter mentally. We are creatures that love our community. Even though I do love my alone time, there are times I just need to be with other women who feel it, who know it. Connecting with the mums around you so you can feel each other in those situations. In the moments of stress, what do we do when that mental load is at its peak capacity? Can we take a moment to pause? Can we acknowledge what's going on right now? Can we use breath work to calm our bodies somatically? Yeah, we can. And this is what we practice when we're feeling great, when that mental load isn't at capacity. This is what we practice to know that we have the tools in our toolbox ready to go. What would happen if we just put the mental load down? If we took everything off our plate for a day, for half a day, for an hour, what would happen? Would the world fall apart? Or would we feel fucking fantastic? Oh, I know the smile on my face. I know how I would feel. So how can I do that in micro amounts that has me feeling that feeling? So I'm not reaching my capacity. So everyone is still taken care of, including myself, but I'm not burning myself out doing it. It's not weighing me down. What can we do today? What do we have to do? And what can wait? What can wait till another day? This is our Empress energy, right? This is where we take control of our nation and you remind yourself that our worth isn't defined by our productivity. It's taking time. It's taking time for us. It's an act of strength to say no. It's not selfish to put something down, to take the weight off. Because when we're weighed down, we are not creative, we're not focused, we're not pursuing our passions and our living in our purpose. We're just not. We're weighed down. We're weighed down by the mundane. We're not intentional with our time because it's not flowing through us. It's heavy, it's dense, it's constricting. And we are empresses. We are expanding. Take that deep breath. We are expanding. So let's change the narrative. Let's change what society's saying, what society's telling us to do, because we don't have to do that anymore. Stand with me, woman. My career mamas. Let's just stop taking on that mental load. Let's normalize these conversations. Have this. After you hear this, go and have it with your school mums, with your daycare mums, with your career mums around the business, entrepreneurs. Spread it around your social media platforms. Let's do different. We want different, right? So let's just start doing it. Have the conversation, get it out of the shadows. Let's stop thinking, I have to do this because everybody else is. Yeah, that's right. No more. Be an advocate in the workplace. Let's change the policies that these companies have. So bring in things like flexible working arrangements, parental leave for both of our parents because it's so needed, and actually have some affordable and available childcare options so that we can still do what we need to do in this world. Let's shift how media portrays women. I would love to see TV shows being more real about what's achievable for a woman. My gosh, I cannot be the perfect physical shape, eating the right foods all the time, having two adorable, perfect children, even though they are, and having everything together, doing all the things and keeping my mental wellness at peak capacity. Something gives at a point. Let's foster the dialogue about the mental load and take shame away from it. Let's take shame out of the equation because there is nothing shameful in saying I can't do any more. We can do it. Empresses, if there's one thing that I want you to take away from today is talking about the subject. Stop letting it weigh you down and get it out there in the open and change everything. Thank you.